Title: I married the man I loved, but on our wedding night, I discovered he was still married. Episode 1: The Lies Behind the Smile. Narrator: They called me a lucky woman, but I didn't know I was walking into a trap. My name is Kioma, 25 years old, from Lagos. I met the man who changed my life, Emeka, at a friend's birthday party. He was everything I prayed for. Handsome, soft-spoken, rich, caring. He made love feel easy, too easy. On our first meeting, he told me, "Kioma, I have never met anyone like you. You are the peace I've been searching for." And I believed him. He called me every morning, sent me money without me asking, even sent food to my house when I was sick. My friends warned me, "Kioma, be careful. A man who moves too fast may be hiding something." But I ignored them. Because Emeka didn't act like a liar. He acted like a blessing. 3 months later, he proposed. The proposal was private, romantic, unforgettable. I said yes. 6 weeks later, we had a small wedding in Lagos. I remember smiling so hard my cheeks hurt. Everyone said, "This marriage will last forever." I believed them. That night, after the wedding ceremony, we entered our hotel room. Emeka went to take a shower. I was sitting on the bed, still wearing my wedding ring, still feeling like a queen. Then his phone lit up. One message came in, then another, then a call. I hesitated, but I picked it up. A woman was screaming on the other end. "Put my husband on the phone. You cannot marry him. Emeka is my husband. We have been married for 5 years and I have 2 children for him." My hands began to shake. I looked at the bathroom door. Water was still running. My heart dropped. I whispered, "No, this cannot be true." Then the bathroom door opened slowly, and Emeka walked out smiling, as if nothing was wrong. But what I was about to discover would destroy everything I believed about. The door that should never have opened. My hands were shaking as I stood in front of Emeka that night. The phone had already exposed him, or so I thought. But I was wrong, because what I hadn't heard yet was the knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Emeka froze. I watched his face change for the first time. Not fear, not shock, but panic. "Kioma, don't open that door," he said quietly. But it was too late. Another knock. Louder this time. Then a woman's voice came from outside. "Emeka, open this door. I know you're in there with her." My heart dropped. I stepped back. "Emeka, who is that?" I whispered. He didn't answer. The knocking turned into banging. Then suddenly, the hotel door opened with a spare key, and she walked in, a woman, in tears, holding 2 small children. "I am his wife," she said. The room went silent. I couldn't breathe. My wedding ring suddenly felt heavy, like it didn't belong to me. The woman looked at me and cried harder. "You are the third woman he has done this to." My legs almost gave way. Then Emeka finally spoke. "Kioma, I can explain," but I interrupted him. "Explain what? That I married a liar?" The woman stepped closer and dropped a paper on the bed. A marriage certificate with Emeka's real name and another woman's name, not mine, not hers, a third woman. My vision blurred. 3 women, 1 man, 1 secret life, and I had just entered it. Narrator. I stared at the woman standing before me. She was crying. 2 frightened children clung to her dress. And suddenly, I realized something painful. She was not my enemy. We were both victims of the same man. I slowly turned to Emeka. "How long have you been lying to me?" I asked, my voice shaking. Emeka lowered his head. "Kioma, I was going to tell you." I laughed through my tears. "When? After I had your children? After I wasted my entire life on you?" The woman wiped her tears. "My name is Ada," she said softly. "We have been married for 5 years." I couldn't believe it. 5 years. While Emeka was telling me I was the only woman in his life. Ada reached into her handbag and handed me photographs. Family pictures. Her and Emeka, their traditional wedding, their children as babies, birth certificates with Emeka's name. My knees became weak. Everything was true, every single word. Then Ada looked at me with pity. "Kioma," she whispered, "there is something even worse that you don't know." I looked up at her. What could be worse than this? Ada hesitated. Then she said, You are not the first woman Emeka secretly married. The room went silent. I felt cold all over. What do you mean? I whispered. Ada began to cry again. Before me, there was another woman. I stepped backward. Where is she now? Ada lowered her eyes. Nobody knows. A heavy silence filled the room. Then I looked at Emeka. For the first time that night, I saw fear in his eyes. Real fear. And at that moment, I realized my husband was hiding a secret far darker than I had ever imagined.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I couldn't sleep that night. Ada and her children had gone home, but her words kept echoing in my head. Before me there was another woman. Who was she? And why was Emeka terrified whenever she was mentioned? The next morning, while Emeka slept on the couch, I quietly picked up his phone. At first, there was nothing unusual. Then I found a hidden folder. Inside it, pictures, voice notes, messages from a woman named Nneka, beautiful, young, smiling. But the messages became darker as I kept reading. Emeka, please stop ignoring me. You promised to marry me. I can't do this anymore. Tears filled my eyes. Then I opened the last message she ever sent. If you don't come back to me, I will disappear forever. I froze. My heart began to race. I quickly searched her name online, and what I found nearly destroyed me. 3 years ago, a young woman named Nneka Okafor died after jumping from a building in Lekki. I dropped the phone in shock. No, this couldn't be real. I looked at Emeka sleeping peacefully, and for the first time, I became afraid of the man I married. When Emeka woke up, I threw the phone at him. Who is Nneka? His face immediately turned pale. He looked away. I shouted, Did you destroy her life too? Emeka began to cry. Chioma, I never wanted any of this. But I wasn't listening anymore. Because in that moment, I realized something terrifying. Maybe Emeka wasn't just a liar. Maybe he was a man who left broken hearts everywhere he went. And I was his newest victim. But as I turned to leave, Emeka grabbed my hand and whispered, Chioma Nneka didn't die because of heartbreak. I stopped. My heart skipped. What do you mean? Emeka looked at me with tears in his eyes. Then he said, She died because of something we both witnessed that night.
My heart was pounding. What do you mean Nneka died because of something you both witnessed? I asked. Emeka buried his face in his hands. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he whispered, That night Nneka discovered a secret I had hidden from everyone. I held my breath. What secret? Emeka slowly raised his head. My father was revealing who my biological father really was, and the enormous fortune he left behind. I stared at him in disbelief. So why hide it? Tears rolled down his face. Because the people who stole my father's wealth would do anything to keep the secret buried. My heart skipped. Nneka had found the letter. And after that, she became terrified. She told Emeka that strange men were following her. She begged him to go to the police. But Emeka refused. I thought she was overreacting, he cried. A few days later, she died. The room fell silent. I looked at him carefully. Do you really believe she took her own life? Emeka slowly shook his head. No. For the first time, fear spread across my body. If Nneka didn't take her life, I whispered. Then someone wanted her dead. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed through the room. Bang! 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 Everyone froze. Ada grabbed her children. Emeka's face turned white. Then a deep voice came from outside. Open the door, Emeka. We know Chioma is with you. I couldn't breathe. How did they know my name? And who exactly was outside that door? To be continued.